they can smell the weakness off of you and they're going to go in for the Hi Bella Beauties, welcome back to my channel. It is another social strategy video today. This is a part 2 to my last video called Everyone is Fake, Play to Win. Okay. Today's video will be a different focus. The theme for today's video is how to cultivate respect in social groups and social settings. So we set the scene in the last video. It's important to be respected in social settings. Okay, even more than being liked. Okay, I always tell you guys, be respected, not liked. The reason being is that even if people don't like you, their respect for you will propel them to still want to be in your life. Okay, I know so many people that people didn't really like, but guess what? They went to their birthday dinners, their birthday parties, their weddings, their baby showers, you name it. Okay, and they wanted to go. Okay, they were fiending to go even if they don't necessarily like the person, they were still hoping to go, right? Haven't you noticed that when you are a people pleaser, people seem to hate you even though you're so nice to them and do everything everyone asks of you? That's because they don't respect you. When you are a people pleaser, people do not respect you because you do not respect yourself. And people are actually ashamed to be associated with you when you're a people pleaser because they feel like you are inferior to them, right? Because you keep putting yourself in servitude for their benefit. Okay. And if you keep putting yourself in servitude in inferior roles for other people, automatically they're going to think they're superior to you. So they're not going to respect you. Okay. You never say no. You never stand up for yourself. You overgive to your own detriment. And to them, they like the benefits they get from you, but they don't respect you as a person. Okay. They feel superior to you. And when people look down on you and they don't respect you and they don't want to be associated with you in public, that's because you're a people pleaser, because you don't respect yourself. But have you seen that even though some people claim not to like someone or they talk ish about that person, they still want to be in that person's life? That's because they respect that person. Usually they talk ish because they are jealous of that person or they didn't get what they wanted from that person or they can't bully that person. That person has strong boundaries and self-respect. So even though they don't like the person, they respect them and still want to be a part of their social circle. So be respected, not liked. Okay. A way to be respected is to protect yourself. Okay. When you don't protect yourself, people don't respect you. What do I mean by that? Think of valuable things, okay, and precious and luxurious things in the world. Okay. They're usually protected. When you get a diamond bracelet, you keep it in a beautiful case away from your fake jewelry, right? That's a boundary. That's a limit. Okay. A boundary is a limit. Okay. When you get a Birkin, you make sure you put it in a dust bag, all right, to protect it. That's the limit. That's the boundary. It's not like your TJ Maxx bag. Okay. That one, you just hang it up anywhere. Okay. You do anything, you worn it out. It's busted. You don't care that much about it, right? Because it was only $30, right? So we protect valuable things because we respect them. Okay. So when you don't protect yourself and don't have boundaries, what message do you think you're sending about you to other people? You are essentially saying that, hey guys, I'm nothing valuable. I'm nothing special. Everybody can use and abuse me and throw me away and walk all over me. You don't have to treat me well. There's no limits to what you can do to me. There's no boundaries. You could do anything to me. I'm nothing valuable or respectable. That's the message you are sending about yourself when you don't have boundaries to protect yourself, when you don't have limits on how people can speak to you, how people can treat you, and all those things like that. And guess what? When you are the $30 TJ Maxx bag, nobody wants to be seen or associated with you because people are shallow. The world is a stage. Life is a game. Play to win. Okay. So how do you protect yourself and cultivate respect in social settings? Number one is don't give away your weaknesses. Okay. I know if you're a person who is traumatized or if you're an authentic person or if you're codependent, you think the way to connect with people is to go deep very fast, to bypass all the niceties and lighthearted things and small talk and go directly deep into trauma dumping and tell them all about your weaknesses, all your business, all your insecurities, all your traumas, and all of that jazz. Okay. That's not the way to go. When you constantly talk about your struggles, failures, or emotional wounds, people might act sympathetic, but deep down, they're taking mental notes. Okay. Some people will use it against you, while other people will lose respect for you because weakness is not attractive in social dynamics, and trauma dumping is seen as a weakness. Okay. For example, if you guys watch the show Young, Famous, and African on Netflix, season 1, episode 1, Kanye, or was it Kanye or Kanye? Uh, I don't know how to say her name. Kanye throws a dinner party for everybody on the show to meet and get to know each other. At this same party, Annie Idibia, she's Two-Face Idibia's wife. She shows up at this party, and she is pulled aside by Kanye, and she starts telling Kanye all her traumas with her husband, everything Two-Face has put her through over the years, just trauma dumping away, honey. And what does Kanye say in her confessional? She says, and I quote, "I can't believe she's giving me all her weaknesses so easily." She was surprised. And what's funny is Annie had pissed off Kanye off earlier at the party, but Kanye did not go off. Okay. She did not embarrass herself. She strategized. So she pretended to be a listening ear to Annie's traumas, to have weaknesses to use against her later. Okay. What did I say, guys? Life is a game. Socializing is not real. People are fake. People are shallow. People are looking for power. Okay. Stop going around new people and trauma dumping on them to try to get closer to them. Okay. People see that as pathetic. They see that as weak. Okay. People are shallow. It also shows that you are lonely and desperate. Okay. And people can tell you don't have a life or you don't have a sense of self when you do that, because usually with people that feel the need to trauma dump all the time, they have nothing else interesting about themselves except for their trauma. So they make that their identity. They make their trauma their identity. You tell them, "Hey, tell me about yourself," and they just start trauma dumping on you. Right? It's like, "Babe, what's your hobbies? What do you like to do? What do you like to do for fun?" Like, they're not going to tell any of that. See, the thing is, you think humans are inherently good and they will care about your traumas. The love you are looking for is not out there. Okay. You're going to have to do the work yourself to heal. Okay. Go to therapy if you can afford it. If you can't, get the Trauma Dump Journal on Amazon. Do the EMDR, do the somatics, do what you need to do. Okay. Because oversharing is a sign of loneliness and desperation. And both of those are weaknesses that people will use to exploit and harm you. Okay. People don't think like, "Oh, this person has been through so much, let me leave her alone." No, people don't think like that. Okay. They think she's weak, she's vulnerable, and she will be my perfect victim. Okay. People are vicious out here. Okay. So do not look weak by sharing your weaknesses. You always want to look strong and confident. Okay. No matter what you're going through. Set that boundary with yourself, not to trauma dump. Okay. That way people will respect you more because they have to do more work, put in more work to get to know you little by little. Okay. And when people put in the effort to have access to your private life, to get to know you deeper, they appreciate you more and they respect you more. Not they just met you an hour ago and now they know every single traumatic thing about you. Okay. They don't respect you for that. People lose respect for you when you trauma dump too early because it signals weakness, desperation, and a lack of emotional control. In social dynamics, people respect strength and self-sufficiency, not unguarded vulnerability. Okay. Oversharing personal struggles too soon creates an imbalance and it makes other people feel burdened rather than connected to you. Okay, so instead of fostering closeness, it makes people uncomfortable or even annoyed with you because deep bonds are built gradually through shared experiences. Okay, not immediate emotional unloading. And even worse is like manipulative people will use your disclosures against you later. Okay, respect comes from pacing your vulnerability. Okay, sharing in layers, ensuring trust is earned before revealing personal struggles. Strong connections come naturally, okay, not through forced emotional intimacy. So don't just go around trauma dumping on people. People see that as a weakness to exploit, and people will not respect you because I just met you. Why do I know all this information about you? What if I was a serial unaliver? You know what I mean? So be careful. You will lose people's respect when you trauma dump. All right, number 2, don't let people trauma dump on you. So we're flipping it, okay? Here's how trauma dumping can be manipulative, okay? Predators, narcissists, and toxic people strategically use trauma dumping to, number one, test your boundaries. Number two, test your empathy. And number three, see how gullible and easily influenced and manipulated you are. Okay. They usually do this to try to get you to pity them. Okay. That way you're more likely to help them, more likely to let them get away with disrespect, and things like that. Okay. So this is a form of grooming designed to make you emotionally invested in them so that they can manipulate you later. So you need to have that boundary up. Okay. So don't let people trauma dump on you, especially people that you just met or are getting to know. Set that boundary right away. Okay. And also, when you allow this person to trauma dump on you, what I've noticed is that they tend to lose respect for you for allowing them to do it. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? They trauma dump on you and then lose respect for you for allowing them to trauma dump on you. Have you guys noticed that? It's like after you allow them to dump all their traumas on you, it's like now they feel disgusted with you. It's weird. The reason being is subconsciously, okay, it shifts the power dynamic in the relationship. So by sharing their vulnerabilities to you, they are exposing all their weaknesses. And if you absorb it without setting any boundaries, they start seeing you as someone with less emotional control or self respect, right? Instead of feeling gratitude that you allow them to trauma dump on you, they start to feel uncomfortable or even disgusted. And they associate you with your negative emotions. Okay. You just become a dump site, like a trash site where people just dump their traumas on you. So, and do we respect the dumpster? No, we don't respect the dumpster. We don't. Okay. Everybody turns their nose up at the dumpster. That's exactly what they're doing to you emotionally. Okay. Trauma dumping can cause an imbalance where they feel the person that trauma dumped on you feel dominant, and you take on the role of the emotional dumping ground. Like I said, you're a dumpster, right? And this can lead to resentment. And if they were strategically testing your empathy or manipulating you to see how gullible and naive you are, they will lose respect for you for falling into their emotional trap. Okay. And ultimately, when you allow this unbalanced interaction, they view you as weak, stupid, or too easily manipulated. And it will diminish their respect for you. Okay. So to maintain respect, it's important to establish emotional boundaries and ensure the relationship remains reciprocal. Okay. So if you're just getting to know somebody or you just met them, don't allow them to trauma dump on you either. Always set the boundary, or turn the conversation around to something more positive, something lighter. Okay. Do not become people's therapist, especially if you just met them, because they will lose respect for you. With these types of people, what I've also noticed is that once you allow them to trauma dump on you, you will become the friend that they have in secret, that they keep in their pocket. So they will come and trauma dump to you, but then they will keep you separate from their other friends that they actually respect, and they will hang out with them and they will do this with them. And then you are just a person that they trauma dump to. Okay. Because they don't respect you and they're kind of ashamed of you. Okay. All right. Number 3, do not anticipate people's needs. Okay. My so-called empaths, my codependents, my people pleasers, listen up. Okay. What do I mean by that? So as a people pleaser or a codependent, you tend to anticipate people's needs and mold yourself into whatever that person needs at the moment. So for example, if let's say you're busy doing your work at work, okay, and somebody walks up to you to chit chat, you don't have time to chit chat, okay? But as a people pleaser, you're too nice to say no and set a boundary, so you allow them to keep yapping and distracting you, and they know that they're distracting you. This tactic is called attention drain, and I talk about it in the Bible of Manipulation book. Sometimes people use this to test your boundaries, especially if you're new. If you're just getting to know them, you just met them, or you're new in the social settings. They come to distract you, or if you're busy, or try to get your attention or drain your time to see if you set a boundary, to see if you say no, how much they can get away with. Okay. If you're too nice to say no and you don't set a boundary, and better yet, you anticipate their needs because you're a people pleaser, so you have to make sure they're very comfortable around you, so that they can like you. Whatever story they're telling you, they want you to show a certain emotion. So even though you don't feel like chatting, or you don't really feel that way about what they said. For example, let's say it's something that you think they want you to be excited about, right? but you don't feel excited about it. Like, you think what they're saying is stupid. You think what they're doing, whatever strategy they have, is stupid, or what they got is kind of like ridiculous. You anticipate their needs. They want you to be excited. So you just act excited. Like, you fake it. You act excited to kind of appease them and make them comfortable. You're anticipating their needs. Okay. So you act excited even though that's not how you really feel. Okay. Or somebody says hi and you're overly giddy, overly giggly, and put on a happy, welcoming act to make them feel comfortable, even though that's not how you really feel. Okay. This tendency to anticipate people's needs can lead you to ignore your own feelings and boundaries, which ultimately drains your energy and undermines your authenticity. Okay. When you do this, people can see that you are not authentic and are afraid to be real with them. So they kind of just dismiss you in their head. Okay. When you give people too much attention that they didn't really earn, or give them too much of your time that they didn't really earn or have to work for, they don't respect you and they kind of dismiss you. Okay. People do not appreciate things that they don't have to work for or things that is given to them too easily. Okay. They don't respect that. So they would kind of dismiss you in their head. They're not going to respect you. Okay. And sometimes people test you, like they will just purposely do things just to see what you say. And if you anticipate their needs and give them what you think they want, they kind of think you're stupid because you're not authentic. Also, when you constantly anticipate people's needs, you unintentionally put them on a pedestal above you. Okay. And they will start feeling superior to you because, again, you put them on a pedestal by unintentionally anticipating their needs. And when people feel superior to you, they don't respect you. Okay. Number 4 is don't be the first one to help. Okay. Being the first one to offer help without being asked can often create an imbalanced dynamic where you're constantly putting other people's needs before your own. And while it may seem like a kind gesture, it can signal that you're overcompensating to earn approval or to avoid conflict, okay? Which can lead to resentment or being taken for granted. If you're always the first one to offer assistance, people might start to expect it from you. Okay, so when you're too good to people, instead of them being grateful for you, they will start expecting it from you. They will start acting like you're their assistant, like you're just there to help them, like you're the help. And you might even get overburdened without any reciprocation. Okay, so by waiting for them to ask you for help, you allow people to demonstrate respect for your time and energy. It also gives people the space to take responsibility for their own needs rather than relying on you as a constant source of support. Okay. So being the first one to help too often can undermine your boundaries, make you feel obligated to always be available, when in reality, it's important to recognize your own limits. So if you always put yourself in servitude roles, especially when people didn't ask for your help, you need to stop doing that. Okay. People will not respect you. They will just use you up and move on with their life. So if people need help, let them specifically ask for your help, because otherwise they can always throw it in your face and say, well, I never asked for your help. And they'll be right because they never asked for your help. Okay. Also, when you're always the first to help, always the first to offer, for example, like you always want to offer to help everyone take their pictures. They didn't even ask you yet, and you just offered to help. You always offer to help carry the bags. You always offer to da 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 da. You constantly put yourself in servitude roles. Okay. When you do that, you are unintentionally putting them on a pedestal, and they will again start feeling superior to you. Okay. They start viewing you as their help, the assistant. They're not going to respect you. So respect yourself and stop being so eager to be the help. Okay. Number 5, people should not be completely comfortable around you. People should not be 100% comfortable around you. As a people pleaser, you probably always want people to be comfortable around you so that they will like you, right? Because if they like you, they'll never hurt you or they'll never abandon you, okay? So you'll feel safe, right? You catch the shade, but you don't call it out to keep the peace. You don't want to go, but you go anyway to appease them so that they don't abandon you or they don't insult you or whatever. Okay. You don't express yourself because you don't want to feel rejected or abandoned. So you allow people to say and do anything to you to be able to avoid conflict and abandonment. So you make people feel too comfortable to the point where they don't have any respect for you because they can walk all over you, right? They see you as someone they can walk all over because you've shown time and time again that there are no boundaries with you. There are no limits. There are no pushbacks. There's no self-respect. Okay. True respect comes from a balance of warmth and assertiveness. Okay. People should feel at ease around you, but not so comfortable that they think they can treat you however they please. So I say people should feel comfortable around you 80% of the time, and that 20%, they should fear ever crossing you. Okay. That's how it should be. That slight edge of unpredictability ensures that they remain mindful of how they treat you, reinforcing boundaries and maintaining respect. So you're a cool girl, you know, you fun and all of that and whatever, you're a good person. But when somebody tries it, immediately you put them in their place. And it signals to everybody else that, oh, she's not the one to play. She's a cool girl. She's a good person, but I'm not going to play those games with her. I'm not going to step. I'm not going to cross her boundaries because she don't play no games about her self-respect. That's how it should be. Okay. So don't be so like such a miserable, hateful person, nasty person that people don't want to be around you at all. But don't be too nice and too people pleasing that people feel too comfortable around you because there's no limits with you. Okay. It should be balanced. 80% comfortable, 20% don't ever play with that girl. Okay. Because you're going to feel it. That's how it should be. Okay. All right. Those are just 5 things that I think you should learn so that you can better navigate social settings so that people respect you. Okay. Do not be out here looking weak and embarrassing me. Okay. Learn to protect yourself. Have boundaries. Get the Glow Getter guide so you know exactly what kind of boundaries, standards, and everything that you should have to get ready for these type of social games. Okay, get the Bible of Manipulation book so that you know when people are playing in your face. Okay, and get the trauma dump journal so that you don't go around trauma dumping on random people. Okay, because they're just gonna use that to exploit you. Okay, all right, ladies. Thank you for supporting me. Check out my Patreon. If you want notes on this video, I have it up on Patreon. Go ahead and check it out. If you're not in the US or if my books are not available to you on Amazon in your country, go ahead and check out the Patreon shop. All my books are available there. Thank you so much, Glow Getters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.